Hello everyone, I'm Adam Papagan. Welcome to There's a Place, the ASMR talk show, the show that feels good to hear. I wanted to tell a little story this week about, ripped from the headlines really, of Los Angeles, of any major city around the country. I'm not talking about police shootings. I'm talking about gentrification. It's the hot issue everyone's worried about. The neighborhood I live in, been there for a couple years. It's literally underneath the freeway. You know, not the best neighborhood, but it's got some charm. It's coming up. It's a cute neighborhood, and it's right next to the LA River. So the past couple years, I've been staying at this place. We've seen tremendous change on the river. They're making it green. They're putting parks in. And the old factories along the river are closing, and they're being converted into things almost as useless as abandoned factories. They're being converted into kayak rental places and architecture firms that make the same ugly cookie cutter architecture you see everywhere. And one of these places is a bicycle repair shop / cafe. You know what any residential neighborhood needs. So at this cafe, they don't have a business license, or they have a business license. They don't have a license to prepare food. So to get around this, the coffee is donation based. So on the one hand, you might be thinking, okay, great, free coffee. This is awesome. But I was drinking the coffee. I walked down there. I was out of coffee at home, so I walked down to the coffee shop. I was drinking it, and I was like, I know these people think that they're making the neighborhood better and changing it for the better and making it nicer, but rules are rules. If you're going to be preparing food for people, you've got to get a license to do that. You got to have a clean kitchen. You got to have the health inspector come. It just makes sense. And this notion that the rules don't apply to you, that you can just do whatever you want, that no one will notice, is really the attitude that a lot of these gentrifiers have, which is what I think why people have a problem with gentrification, and is this the rules don't apply to us mentality. So while you might need a coffee shop in this restaurant, or there might be an absence of that, there's plenty of coffee shops in other neighborhoods not too far away, in Silver Lake on the west side, which are traditionally, white parts of town, and now these white people are moving over to the brown side of town, and that's causing some friction. But the real irony here is that these formerly white neighborhoods, we were working class, working white people have been priced out of these, and every home in Westwood or Beverly Hills is owned by some foreign millionaire. So it really works both ways. It's not a racial thing, it's an economic thing. So follow the rules. That's going to be my lesson for today. Go ahead and serve food in a clean kitchen. Thank you. My guest tonight is a comedian, a man about town. He knows just about every person, I think. We're going to find out how he's managed to do that. But a very charming young man. Please welcome the very funny Andrew Michaan. Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Hey, how are you?
Good. Yeah, so this is, I forgot to tell you at the top of the show, this is ASMR talk show.
I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, so but you know what ASMR is?
I'm familiar with it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just soft talking. Certain people, you don't have to whisper, just like library voice.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've never tried that. I didn't know.
Yeah, you can kind of, some people can tap into it.
Yeah, I'll try and see the best way to get into that for everyone.
Yeah, it's, could potentially is a fetish though.
Right. I'm swinging into that a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. So are you comfortable with that?
I don't care.
Okay, yeah, that's a good attitude.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, that's great. So Andrew, you've been a victim of identity theft
Oh,
today. Or is that fake?
No, that was real.
That was real.
Yeah.
So what exactly happened?
This is so weird. The whole thing it actually ruined my day, and some people think that I was maybe overreacting a little bit about it, but it was just like, it made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't like it, and it was weird. Basically, yesterday, someone, can we swear on this? Or?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay. I don't usually swear, but it's part of the story. Yesterday on Facebook, I got a friend request from someone whose name on Facebook was FACJU, F-A-C-K space J-U, I think.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a very weird name. They didn't have a picture in the profile. It was just, the standard Facebook, like, whatever that.
Silhouette.
Blue silhouette.
Yeah.
Whatever, yeah. It was just kind of a standard picture, and it said FACJU. And I thought it was funny because it's like such a crazy name. It's obviously not a real person. It's obviously spam. I get about 10 to 20 friend requests a day just because I do comedy, and people around the country who do comedy are like, oh, I want to be friends with this person because they're doing comedy and I think I have something in common with them. I never accept any of them. I have like hundreds of friend requests I just don't accept just because I don't know the person. If I don't know you, I'm not going to accept your friend request. You can follow me on Twitter or something if you want to like follow my comedy. Anyway, so I thought it was a funny name, so I just like put it on Facebook. I just wrote like, here's my friend. I'm like, who could forget my good old friend Fac? We had so many fun times together, and look at this recent picture of him. Looks like he's doing great. Like just playing off the fact that it's obviously like a fake profile. It's obviously
Spam
not someone I know, and it's
yeah.
some sort of spam. And I thought it was a joke, and people, 50 to 100 people, whatever, on my Facebook liked it, and that was that. And then today, I get a friend request from another person named Fac, F-A-C-K, Jolie. Someone named Fac Jolie, and I was like, that's kind of weird. Like someone else named Fac, but this person had 2 friends in common with people and also had a lot of pictures of themselves. So I'm thinking, oh, this person is a real person, but why is the second Fac? It just made me feel very weird. And I thought that was kind of strange. And I posted that. I was just like, oh, 2 Fac friend requests in one day. This is such a Facin miracle or something like that. And then I get another friend request about an hour later from someone. My name is Andrew Michaan. And it was someone's profile. His name was Fac Andrew Michaan, and it was my profile picture with the big red X across it. And I was like, that's kind of weird. I thought it was kind of funny because I'm just like, that's really weird. Why would someone do this? Whatever. So I posted that picture on Facebook as well. And I just thought it was like kind of weird and not a big deal. And then I start getting text messages from my friends, and they're like, hey, what's this about? And apparently this person had friend requested hundreds of my friends. And like hundreds of my friends were just like texting. I got about like over 24 text messages and messages from different friends. And they're just like, what is this? Is this a joke? Is this your joke? And all of them thought that it was a joke that I was doing, which isn't a joke that I would do. I don't think it's funny. I don't like I don't understand how that's a joke. And so for me, the thing that was so frustrating is I had to like defend my own comedic sensibilities to be like, oh, this isn't something I would ever do. This isn't funny to me. I don't like this. So I don't really care about someone like talking shit about me or something, but for them to like make it look like I was doing this thing that I don't actually agree with, it just felt really very, very weird.
So you weren't really upset that somebody was pretending to be you. You were upset that people thought that you would make a joke like this.
Yeah, it's just like,
and that's not really your style of joke.
Well, I don't think they were pretending to be me. They were just, it was someone. I don't know. I mean, I guess they're pretending to be me in the sense that people thought that it was something I would do. And they're just like, oh, is this you?
And that's what offended you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, the pretending to be me thing, it wasn't pretending to be me. It didn't say my name. It said Fac my name.
Yeah.
So it was like a weird. So this happened, and I was just like, what the heck? And they added like hundreds of my friends. Did you get a friend request as well?
No.
Okay. That's good. I'm proud of you. I don't know. And so all these friends are messaging me. I'm just like, what the? And they're all accepting it too, because they think it's me. I think it's like me doing this thing. And I'm just like, this is so stupid. And I was like pretty upset. I was just like, this. It was like I had to like I spent hours at my computer reporting it on Facebook, responding to people's messages saying, hey, could you just report them? Maybe if enough people report it, it'll go away. Facebook like didn't do anything about it within like hours. You think if like someone creates a profile, adds hundreds of people, most of them report it, you think they would like shut it down and like do further review, but they just like didn't do anything. So I was just kind of like waiting for something to happen. I don't know if this is boring to people or not, but I was just waiting for something to happen. And then I got a message like an hour and a half ago or 2 hours ago from someone who was like, hey, Andrew, I'm friends. I know the person who made the profile. Do you want me to just read it in its entirety?
If you want to summarize it,
okay, it just said
whatever.
like, hey, Andrew, I know the person who made this fake profile against you. It's a comedy fan who has autism and doesn't understand social stuff and thought they were doing something that would be funny and amusing and a joke. And they don't quite understand how.
Wait, they're autistic, so they don't understand comedy?
I mean, I don't know. It's so weird. I guess there's an autistic comedy fan who's like, oh, this person's a comedian. They'll think this is funny. to create a profile that says "fac them," and then so I just don't even know.
This is a really weird situation.
I know, and then she sent and then that person changed the name under the "fac Andrew Michaan" profile to I went, like IWEENT, and then space too far, TOOFAR. Like that was the name of the profile. It was all so weird. So it got changed named I went too far, and then they changed. Then they posted a big status update that this person had sent me a message about. That was just like, hey, I feel really bad. I just thought this would be a funny joke for Andrew. I don't know, like I sometimes mess up and I have issues with autism. It's like very weird. And this person who sent me the message created a fake profile to send me that message. She was like, oh, I created this profile so you wouldn't know who my son is. Or, oh, it turns out that was the person's mother or father. Because I was messaging this person more, just like, who is this person? Why would they do that? I was like, I don't want to know their name, but like, how did this happen? And the person's like, they're a comedy fan. They're my son. I've dealt with stuff like this before where they don't understand boundaries. So, and it's just like, the whole thing is very weird. And I thought about posting those messages and just explaining to people. But then I just thought the best thing to do is just to move on. So I deleted everything that I had posted, all the things saying don't add this person and report them and stuff. I deleted all those messages, or all those pictures, and then if anyone's asked me, I've just told them in person, or I sent the people who reached out to me and asked, I sent them the message just to say this is what it was. So it's all very weird, and it's just really interesting, like having like a public profile that people can, I guess, look at and add to. I don't know. It was just very strange.
What if the autistic kid had been like really funny though? Would you maybe have been tempted to take credit for it?
No.
Like what if they made like a viral, like a video?
Well, I actually thought the "I went too far" thing was pretty funny because it was like a weird. It actually had like some of those letters with like accents on the top and stuff. It was like a very weird kind of like name. I thought it was kind of funny. But no, I mean the whole thing was just weird, and it was just kind of a thing where it's like. It's just so weird because none of this stuff matters. Social media doesn't matter. And yet, because it's something that we all do all the time, we place emphasis on it, and it does matter to us.
It feels kind of intimate.
Even though intellectually you realize that it's meaningless, like it still has some sort of bearing on your life. And also, there's a blurred line between social life and or real life and social media life, because it's like, there are people who I feel like I'm better friends with because I read their posts or I see their pictures or I read their tweets or whatever. So even though it's not real life and it doesn't matter, it also kind of is real life. It's like this weird in-between zone where the way you represent yourself on the internet also leads into the way people see you in real life. And there's so many weird things like that. Like I met someone last night and someone today who I've never met in person, but we follow each other on Twitter, and both of those people I felt like I had like, oh, well, we know each other, how are you? And we had like a friendship from that. And so even though it's not real, it also is real, and I don't know, the whole thing was so weird. But I'm happy to move beyond it, and yeah, I don't know.
All right, well,
Sorry if that was too long, but it just happened, and I haven't talked about it yet.
That's good, you get it out there.
Yeah, thanks.
I won't do, I was going to do an Andrew Michaan Halloween costume.
Oh, yeah.
A
fac
yeah, I think I don't want you to take the wrong way, so yeah. So you're from Telluride, Colorado.
I'm originally from Telluride, Colorado.
What's Colorado like? Because it seems like it's conservative, but weed is legal.
Well, Colorado is it's a very like dualistic state where half of the state is like extremely conservative redneck farmers because there's a very large farming population there, and the other half is like super hippied out nature people. And there's actually towns in Colorado. The town where my mother lives in, it's called Paonia, Colorado. It's a very small town. The town is like very evenly split between like redneck farmers and like pot growing hippies. And it's very interesting, the dichotomy between those two things. And there's like a little bit of antagonism and like kind of weird stuff going on. And there's like the hippie bar, and then there's like the hippie brewery bar, and then there's like the redneck bar, and you don't go in there, and they like give you mean looks. And it's not where I grew up, but it's where she lives now. And it's just very like, there's a very thick dividing marker between the culture.
Do you feel like you straddle the two, or?
Me, yeah. I lean more on the redneck thing. I'm very conservative. But I grew up in Telluride, which is a small ski town. It's kind of like Aspen or something.
And they have the film festival.
Yeah, the film festival and a bluegrass festival, a lot of festivals. And so I grew up there, and that's very, very liberal. And it's like wealthy and in the middle of the mountains, and it's like a ski resort and stuff. So that was very liberal.
Was that a good place to grow up?
Yeah, what I say about it is it's a very good place to grow up and a very good place to leave. never come back. It's just so small. My graduating class was like 30 kids in the only public high school in like a 40-minute radius in the mountains. So it's like very limited socially and no opportunities and not much going on. But it's very nice. It's pretty.
Were you popular in high school?
I mean,
You were.
no, I mean, the thing is, that's what I'm talking about, is that the school was so small that popularity almost didn't even exist. It's like, I look at movies, like 80s movies or something like that, and they place people in categories. There's jocks, or there's nerds, or there's whatever. The school was so small that no one actually even existed in those categories. Everyone is an individual. There's Andrew, there's Steve, because there's just like so few people, like 90 kids in the entire high school or something like that. So few people that it's just like, there was a little bit of popularity, but it's like, I was friends with everyone, and
Were you well liked, I guess?
Yeah, I was well liked. Yeah, I wasn't like a loner. I had a lot of friends, and I partied, and I threw parties, and went to parties, and skateboarded, and stuff like that.
What were those parties like?
Pretty fun. Hanging out at someone's house, a lot of drinking in that town, a lot of like cocaine use and stuff. I didn't do cocaine, but like a lot of drugs and stuff in my high school. Yeah. I drank a lot though in high school. I don't drink now.
Oh, you don't drink at all?
Yeah, I haven't drank for like 3 years.
Oh, okay. Did something happen, or you just a teetotaler?
I just took a break. I took a 1-month break, and then I was like, oh, this is better for me.
Snowballed.
I kept it on. Yeah, snowballed.
Okay, well, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to...
Oh, you got a drink?
I'm going to have a beer.
Oh, cheers.
From our sponsor, Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue Ribbon sponsors, right?
Yes.
Oh, congrats.
Open that up. Wow, you're... I'm not going to tell you what to do, Andrew, but...
I'm missing out.
You're really missing out on this cold, refreshing beer. You have 2 down here if you want one. But
it looks fun.
You don't want to break the streak. I understand. As long as you're responsible about things. So we're about the same age, but you grew up in this small town, so I kind of, know what kind of you would be doing high school age. When did you move out to LA?
Well, I went to college in Portland, Oregon. When I was 17, and I lived there for about 8 years.
Did you graduate early?
I skipped a year in high school, yeah. Did you do that too?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I did an extra year.
Oh, you did an extra year?
No.
Oh, I reversed, yeah.
Yeah.
So...
How do you skip a year in school?
I mean, again, the school's so small. I straight up just went up to the guidance counselor who knew me, and I was just like, hey, I don't feel...
I gotta get out of this town.
That's what I thought. But what I said to her was just like, I don't really feel stimulated intellectually. I'd like to move up a year and feel more challenged. And I was smart, and I got straight A's and stuff. And so she's like, yeah, let me look into that. And then like a week later, she's like, okay, you're in 9th grade. This is like when I was in 8th grade, but it was all in the same school. And so I moved upstairs to 9th grade. And then I just graduated a year early. It was a really smart move.
That was really smart to do it at that age, too.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like going through puberty, and they don't know what's going on.
You're on through.
Yeah.
No, it was just one conversation. I was able to leave that town 1 year earlier. It was really nice. So I lived in Portland, Oregon, went to college there, and then started doing comedy there when I was like 20 or something. And then I've been here for 3 years.
For 3 years only. So you stayed in Portland after college?
Yeah, I stayed in Portland a few years after college.
That's a pretty easy place to stay and live, right?
It's a little bit like of a trap, because the thing is, the quality of life there is very high, and the cost of living is very low, and everyone's very nice, and everything is very cheap and fun, and it's like you can just be young forever and like sleep with people and go and drink and go to the river and do comedy in a way that is beneficial but ultimately not going to lead to anything. And there's just like, for so many reasons, it's like really nice, but not it's a dead end a little bit. It's a good place to grow. It's the same thing, a good place to grow and then leave, I think. If I wanted to raise kids and I had no interest in the entertainment industry, I would definitely move back there and like live in there. It's a very nice town. But if you're trying to do something, the problem is like a lot of people there want to do something creatively that they can't do there successfully, but they still stay there. It's like if you're doing comedy and you're living there and you're expecting to like get a big break, it's just not going to happen until
you got to go to where
until you take it a little more seriously.
Comedy
move
happens.
to somewhere that's going to drive you.
Yeah. So you had 4 years of kind of priming yourself, with the training wheels, maybe.
I was training it up.
Yeah. It's a little easier because slower pace of life, whatever.
Yeah.
But then you moved down to LA. You've only been here for 3 years.
Like 2.5, yeah.
Wow, that's not very long at all.
Yeah.
For the amount of people you know.
Right.
So I want to ask you can tell our viewers about that. Comedy notwithstanding, how can someone in any field, how does somebody network? How does somebody meet people? What's the key to doing that?
To meeting people?
So it seems like you know everybody.
I know a lot of people. I don't know. I mean, I go out. I'm out every day and every night at like parties or shows or hanging out with friends. And I'm not like doing it for the explicit purpose of networking. I like talking to people and having conversations with people and being nice to people and like being pleasant to be around, I guess.
But when you're, and I'm sure at a certain point it kind of snowballs, whereas like you know a lot of people want to meet you because you know it. But when you first moved here and you first started going out to these parties and these shows, how would you strike up a conversation? Would you be the initiator? Would you be like aggressively trying to make friends?
No, I never was here aggressively trying to make friends because I had a lot of friends when I moved here. Like, I'd been doing comedy for 5 years or something, and I knew a lot of people from like comedy festivals. Like Bridgetown is a pretty big comedy festival. It's in Portland. I did that like 3 or 4 times. And a lot of those people live in Los Angeles who come up to do that. So I knew a lot of comedians. And then I just had a lot of friends who had lived in Portland who moved down here, like comedians or musicians or just other types of people. So it was pretty easy for me to find a social network of people I got along with. And then, you know, I would be at a party with them and they'd introduce me to their friends and then I'd go to different, you know, just like stuff like that.
Kind of played it cool though?
I guess, yeah, I'm not like I don't like go up to random people and just like try to talk to them. That's not something I really do.
But kind of by keeping it cool. That's a good lesson for all of you. You know, don't be too eager. It's like when you're trying to pet a cat.
Or date a girl.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, yeah, if someone's, yeah.
Or anything.
It's just, I think desperation's not a good look.
Yeah. And it's one of those, fourth dimension kind of things that you can't like see or quantify, but you can pick up on, like,
there's a lot of stuff like that. I mean, doing comedy, there's a lot of very weird people, and there's a lot of people where you meet them and it's like, oh, that person's nice, but there's something off about them, and it's just the way they carry themselves, or like the intention that they bring forth to conversations feels false, or like they're trying to gain something from you. There's a lot of people trying to like network in a way that's like very obvious and bad, where it's like, I don't know, like you'll talk to someone and within like 2 minutes they're trying to see how they can gain something from you, and that's always just very weird, and that happens a lot, I think.
Yeah, it's off-putting. Or one thing I've kind of experienced with comedians is sometimes, and it seems like it comes from a place of insecurity, but they'll be trying really hard to be funny.
Yeah, I really dislike that.
They'll be like doing like material in a conversation.
Yeah.
Which is, it's one of those weird paradoxes where you can always tell when somebody is doing that, but if you're doing comedy well on a stage, it sounds like you're just coming up with it, you know, it's very conversational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Certain kind of comedy.
Yeah, I think there's something, but that's like a context of, if you're on stage performing, you're supposed to be doing comedy. But if you're just trying to have a conversation with someone and they're like, where'd you grow up? And you're like, oh, I grew up in Colorado. And they're like, ooh, you toke, ooh, smoking. I don't know what they would do, but like, just like going way too hard to be like humorous, and it's just, it gets annoying. And there's people there's a way to, it's also funny because it's like all the comedians I look up to, who I really respect and like, who I've met over the years and done shows with and stuff, they're all very like normal, easy to talk to, who like they aren't like super on and annoying. They're just like people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Who are some of those comedians that you admire, or like, and you know, go back to the early days. Maybe people you haven't met or you're not friends with. They're like I loved Jay Leno because I watched The Tonight Show like for like every night of my life, basically. So like that's your
guy.
Yeah. Well, it's just like it's ingrained in me.
Yeah, I think Jon Stewart seems really intelligent and like smart, and just like he gets it. It seems like with a lot of stuff. I didn't grow up like watching too many things like regularly, but that's something I think I've watched for. He was on that for like 15 years, right?
Yeah, a long time. And what really put it on the map was, I think, the 2000 election.
Right.
Because it started getting a little more serious.
Right. And then the like stealing the votes kind of thing happened. That was probably a big part of it.
Yeah.
As well.
And of course now he was so successful at that. Now the real news is fake. And The Daily Show isn't funny.
It's very weird. Yeah.
It looks like the Onion is owned by Hillary Clinton funders. You heard that?
That's really weird.
Dude, that's true?
Did you see that article they wrote?
Yeah, but that's one article.
Yeah, of course it's true.
But like I'm not hearing this from multiple sources.
You don't need a source. You look at the Onion, and you look at that article they wrote about Hillary Clinton. It's like just basically propaganda. It's very weird.
And I have noticed since that story, the stuff that they say about like Ted Cruz and stuff. It's
Yeah, it's so weird.
And you have to nowadays you read an article and you'll get like 5 paragraphs into it. You'd be like, oh, they're being sarcastic. Yeah. What is going on?
Yeah, it's confusing. Yeah.
Well, none of it matters at the end of the day. So
Politics?
I mean, I guess it does though, because you'd be like, oh, there's the corporations behind closed doors. But then those things like do end up affecting everyday people.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wages and like things like that.
Politics are so weird. I don't really know. Because it's like on the one hand, it seems like you could just be nihilistic about it and be like, the same people are always going to be in control and nothing really matters and things aren't going to change in a serious way. And then you look at people like Donald Trump where it's like, oh, well, if he's elected the president, he's like racist and sexist and like is very bad for progress. So like that's really bad. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel the same way about it that like some people do about being an atheist or whatever.
Right.
Where it's like you could just be like, oh, there's nothing, but like, what do you get out of being nihilist? If you're hopeful, then maybe things could change. But if you're convinced that nothing's going to change, that we're alone in the universe or whatever, it doesn't really get you anything.
I think with all of that stuff, it's just about creating your own sense of meaning and purpose. It's like at my core, I'm very nihilistic, and I think nothing matters, and the universe is meaningless, and we're going to die, and nothing matters at all. I definitely think that, 100%. But I don't care about that, and that doesn't affect my actions in any way, and I still place a lot of emphasis on many things in my life. I care very much about my career. I care very much about being successful. I care very much about my friendships, about being nice to people, about people liking me. Like, all those things really matter to me because I place emphasis on them in my own mind. And if I care about it, then it does matter. So it's like this weird thing where nothing does matter, but if you create meaning for yourself, then it does matter. I don't know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I don't know.
Well, why does your career and like being successful in particular, because it's they always say it's a quality of a sociopath, but I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah,
better than being a bum.
The two things I gain the most satisfaction from are relationships with friends and family and stuff like that, and then creating stuff that I'm proud of that people like. So, like the whole point, and success is a byproduct of being happy with your own work, I think. And I don't know. I don't think it's sociopathic. I mean, I think it's sociopathic to not have any goals, because I think that's the two ways you can go with that nihilism. You can be nihilistic and be like, nothing matters, so I'm gonna do drugs and not leave my house. It's like, well, how is that good? You're not creating anything better for anything. Whereas you can also be like, nothing matters, but I care about this and I want to do a good job with it. I don't know. I mean, yeah. I don't see that as sociopathic. I mean, I think there are sociopathic ways you can go about that, where you're like stepping on people and like not caring about the impact of your actions. And I'm not that type of person. I wouldn't just like, I'm not going to like use someone for something and then like leave them behind. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about like being nice and doing a good job and hopefully it leading to something.
So really the meaning you think is what is important behind it, the meaning you attach to it, or to the intentionality.
Yeah, I think the meaning you attach to anything is, again, it's like, I don't think anything means anything unless you make it. So, yeah. So, speaking of your work, something you've made, well, okay, first of all, when's that Mazda 3 video coming out? Oh, brother. Our editor is working on that this week, actually.
This week?
We made a video that's fun, but it's 25 minutes long, and we're just trying to figure out where to trim it.
Yeah.
It's like a short it's basically a mini documentary. It's very funny, and we're really proud of it. We just need to figure out how to
I haven't seen any of it, except
I'll send you a cut when we get this new cut this week.
That energy, though, when you guys were doing it, felt really good.
So fun, yeah. I really like it.
And you guys seemed so excited when you came back to the house.
I know.
At the end of the day.
I know. We'll get it done.
So, yeah. But 25 minutes, it might be.
Yeah. it's just that's the story we told, and it's really funny, and it's really really good, but it's just not an internet video, which is fine.
Yeah, you gotta kind of find a different distribution
Yeah.
for it.
We're thinking theaters, ArcLight. Yeah.
Well, I'll get my assigned seat now.
Right.
What do you think about that? It's assigned seats at a theater.
I don't care. I mean, it's fine. I've never been there.
You've never been to the
No. I've never been there and had it be an issue where it's like too crowded or something.
That's my point.
It's always pretty empty.
Yeah.
I don't know. They have that. I went to Thailand and they had that there, assigned seats. So I'm used to it.
Thailand's not usually the country you associate with
Thailand's
law and order.
Well, Thailand is very serious about their movie theaters. It's like really fancy. They're really fancy. They're very cold because air conditioning is like a status symbol. Like you actually have to wear multiple jackets if you go into the movie theater, which is annoying because it's so hot outside. I mean, I've never been, like, I was watching a movie there once. I almost left. I was so cold. I didn't bring a jacket, and I was just like freezing. I wasn't there for like a year. I was just there for like a few weeks.
You decided to catch a movie?
I caught multiple movies. Yeah, I was there alone. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's always a weird thing when you go to a movie on vacation. Doesn't speak well to the vacation.
I don't know. There's also something comforting about it. I'm in a foreign country. I don't really know anyone. And I could just go into a movie and listen to people speaking English and doing normal stuff. Not normal stuff, but I didn't even care about the movie. I saw the third Twilight movie. I'd never seen any of them before. So.
That's kind of fun to make a different theater-going experience for yourself.
Yeah,
it kind of makes the movie better.
Yeah, it was cool. Surrounded by Thai people, watching a movie I have no reference points for. It's fun. They have assigned seating.
Do you go to the movies by yourself often?
Yeah. I mean, I'll go to movies often, and I'll invite people, but if no one comes, I don't care. Like, I'm happy to go alone. It doesn't affect me.
I like to see a movie by myself.
Yeah.
I might prefer it, actually.
Oh, yeah, it's kind of nice. There's something comforting about it. I think eating a meal in public by yourself, I think ultimately is not as good.
Oh, no. That's a social thing.
Like, I don't care about it. Like, I'll do it, and it's fine with me. But I'm always kind of like, this would be better if I were with a friend, like, straight up.
Well, we were talking about this a little before the show, you eat very few foods.
I have some dietary restrictions.
How come?
For health reasons, I think it affects.
Oh, yeah, you can.
No, I'm not worried about getting fat, but
Caloric restriction, yeah.
Caloric
I know.
restriction.
No, you live longer.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't count calories. I don't care about fat or anything like that. I've taken a lot of steps to figure out what makes me feel healthy, and not drinking and eating certain foods is what seems to do the trick.
You seem very future-minded. Like you're kind of living in the future a lot, which is
very logical.
Yeah.
Like if I find out that something isn't going to make me feel good, I'll never eat it again, even if I love it. I don't really care. Like for me, the goal is to feel healthy. So if that means never eating cheese again, like 8 years ago, I was like, oh, maybe cheese isn't good for me. And then I stopped eating it. I've never eaten it again since. And I liked cheese. I just kind of was like, oh, I'll take a break.
So you will trade off small pleasures in the present for a longer term payoff.
Yeah.
Are you like good at saving money and stuff?
I think so. Yeah, it's the same type of thing.
Yeah, that's what they say. Like Americans are in such bad shape, like we're all in debt and fat and dying of cancer and stuff.
They have no perspective.
Yeah, it's hard to get that perspective.
Yeah.
It's called like things like smoking. It's like called negative savings.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Where you're taking time away from the top instead of building towards something.
Right. I also had like weird health issues for a couple of years that were like preventing me from reaching my fullest potential. And doing what I did with my diet seemed to help. So I'm going to keep that up. Same with the alcohol thing. That's why I quit alcohol as well.
Anything you see on the horizon that you're going to give up coming up?
I mean, my only vice at all is probably dating.
And how's that working for you, dating? A lot of comedians talk about how they never get laid, and I don't really get that.
Right. That's not. Yeah, I don't know. I date. Yeah. I think I'm a bit. I don't know. I'm a bit like too all over the place with that.
You have to be ready for love.
Yeah, I don't think I
Find
am.
you, yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's like, it's weird. It's like for me, having a girlfriend isn't a priority for me because I don't really think it's a good way for me to spend my time. It's not how I want to spend my time, and I don't have enough time to spend.
What
on
every
it.
woman wants to hear.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just where I'm at right
Yeah.
now with my life. But then I end up like dating a bunch of people, and then I'm ending up spending time in that respect. So it's kind of like, how is that any different? You know, I don't know. Maybe I'll take a break from dating.
Oh, that could be your next
Officially.
thing.
No, I'm not going to.
Think about how much more you can accomplish,
I
though.
know, but I don't spend that much time on it. I'll be okay. Yeah.
Is that something you would want for the future?
A girlfriend?
Or a wife or family or stuff? Or
Yeah. I think the way I feel about that is if I mean, I would have a wife if I found the right person. Like, that seems fine to me. If I found the person I wanted to spend my life with, or I felt a very strong connection with, I would make a serious commitment to them, whether that's marriage or not. I don't really care about marriage, but that's fine. That is something that's easy. But for me, the kid thing, it's like, I would only have a kid if I was like completely satisfied with everything else in my life. If I like was exactly where I wanted to be in my career and felt really good about myself and what I was doing, I would have a kid. But if I had a kid before that moment, it would feel like I was giving up that dream for that kid, and I wouldn't want that kid to have that on his shoulders. Like, if I have resentment or something, you know what I mean? It's just like, you got to have your shit together before I think you have a kid. Otherwise, I think you're putting a lot of weird pressure on that kid to like be the answer to your unfulfilled dreams, or I don't know, there's just something there.
well, you kind of shift your
You shift your, exactly.
the energy you were putting towards yourself onto another person
And then if that
who
is
has
something-
their own stuff that they're trying to do.
right, and also that could be something that you resent them for, which isn't fair to them.
Gaming.
Game.
That's your vice.
Board gaming?
You love games.
Yeah, that ain't a vice though. That's a positive. That's a positive. That's fun social time with friends.
You don't view it as a vice at all?
No, I don't do it that much.
Do you get like angry if you lose?
No.
So it's purely for fun.
Yeah. I play board games, and I don't see advice at all. I mean, at most I play once a week, usually less frequently than that, and it's with a group of good friends, and we have fun.
What games are you playing?
Well, I mean, Tammany Hall, the Resistance is kind of like a party game we play. You play that, right? It's kind of like
I don't play games.
Oh, it's kind of like Werewolf or Mafia.
I do like Werewolf.
Chinatown, Modern Art, Five Tribes.
You ever thought about designing your own game?
No, I don't have any interest.
Really?
Yeah, it's like someone else is going to do a better job than me. It's not my thing.
You don't feel like you could?
No. I know what games I like, but I don't. That's like me liking music and wanting to make music. I'm not a musician.
Interesting.
Yeah. I am very logical, and I think my brain likes that kind of thing, but I don't want to create it. Too much work.
Too much work.
Other people are doing it. I'm not trying to be a chef. You know? It's like I can appreciate stuff and not want to create it myself.
Okay.
Leave that to people who
Yeah.
are better trained.
Very focused. Very interesting. Andrew, you are very focused. I can tell from talking to you. It's definitely the longest I've ever spoken to you.
Yeah, it's
or,
true, actually.
probably been in the same room with you, maybe even.
No, we've been in the same room longer.
The party that doesn't count.
Remember when we were trapped in that room for 3 days together?
Oh,
and we didn't
right.
talk, but we were there.
The kidnapping.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
surprised we didn't talk very much during that, but we were both kind of focused.
Yeah, we really found our own stuff. So, but you're a focused guy. What's the point in your career you're trying to get to? What do you want to have?
I mean, I think.
I know you've thought about it.
I mean, I think the ultimate goal for anyone doing what I'm doing is like creating your own TV show that you have creative control over. So probably that. I like doing stand-up, and I want to continue to do that, but that's not like. I think someone posed me this question where they were like, if you could make the same amount of money touring stand-up for a year around the country, or creating your own TV show, which would you rather do? I'd much rather do the TV show thing because I think that's like reaches a broader audience and also is more of a challenge, and just more something I'm more interested in. But stand-up I like a lot. I want to keep doing it forever, but it's not like the goal.
But that created by credit.
It's not even that. It's just like feeling like, oh, I like this and I'm proud of it, and people seem to like it. I don't know. It's kind of the goal.
Well, you're well on your way, I think.
Oh, thanks. I feel okay.
We're on our way for the show wrapping up.
Oh, wow, all right.
So, all right, I know, right? But if you want to plug,
so the background changes. I didn't realize that.
yeah. We went to the park. We were in a refrigerator. We've been some cool places tonight, man.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
So, Good Looks Comedy Show is at UCB now. People can see that.
Yeah, I have a monthly comedy show. I have a website. People can see information.
Okay, you got
myfullname.com.
Yeah, and you gig and stuff, right? LA, New York.
I gig all over the place.
Yeah, so you're
gigging.
Yeah, you're seeable.
I'm seeable.
Is my
Twitter is
point.
probably a good way to look at all my jokes and
Yeah.
maybe create a fake profile for me and and attack me and add all my friends.
Yeah, fake at FAC Andrew Michaan. Check that out.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, thank you very much.
I just want to say for that whole thing, like, I'm not mad at that person who did that. Like, I have no animosity. It was an unfortunate situation that was them misinterpreting what was okay, and I'm okay.
Yeah, and you got
No one was hurt.
Interesting little story about it.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, maybe you even learned a little bit.
Yeah. Should I spell out my name for this Twitter thing, or is it written?
It was at the top of the show.
Oh,
It'll be on the YouTube. It'll say in the title of the video that you're watching right now.
Cool.
Where do they display the title? I guess below.
Is this live or is this?
Yeah, this is live. It'll go on YouTube.
So I thought.
Yeah, we're all over.
We're all over.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, thank you.
And we're all over. Like wrapping up all over, right? Do you get it?
No, we keep working on it. You're not there yet.
Okay.
No. But yes, thank you to our sponsors, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Thank you to Stance Socks. We got the wide. Yeah, these are nice socks, aren't they, Andrew?
They're actually pretty comfortable. Yeah, it took me a little while to find a pair that fit right, but when they fit,
You got them, and they're matching, so you can wear them out in public with your shoes.
I will.
Yes, and thank you all at home, or I don't know, maybe you're at work watching this, but thank you for doing so. Until next time, this is Adam Papagan reminding you that there's a place you can go, and it's your mind. Good night.